Hi guys, I did an interview with Dylan Moran ahead of his fight against Owen O'Neill. Enjoy.
I'm very well, Scott, and yourself?
I'm doing good. How has training for this fight been? Like, how's training camp gone so far?
It's been pretty good, you know. I've just left the gym just now, actually. I've just arrived home, 8 rounds of sparring in the bank. Yeah, no complaints, feeling good and feeling ready to go.
And how does a normal week look for you? Like, how do you split up your sessions?
So I train twice a day, Monday to Friday, once of a Saturday morning. Obviously, we're in the sparring stage now. So it's just mainly these weeks it's just all about sparring, resting after sparring. And yeah, I'm being ready to go the next day. But it's the best part for me, spend the first part of the camp getting strong, getting fit, and yeah, add the finishing touches then at the end.
And speaking about your last fight, obviously it didn't go your way. What did you think was the biggest thing he surprised you with?
The last fight, it is what it is. I got caught, the game is the game. That shot wouldn't have done that to me in the third round, but it happened. So many questions, so little answers. Literally not more than I got cold. I've accepted, got caught cold. Sorry, I've accepted it and I've moved on.
Not exactly, and you're able to put that behind you and get back into the win column on the 3rd of August. How do you feel those defeats help you improve?
Massively, when you win, you just collect the trophy and go home. I think when you lose, you truly meet yourself. You find out everything
Yeah,
about you. You see what you're about, what you're not about. Yeah, they're learning curves for sure, and it's just another chink in the armor going forward. It's not a nice place to be when you lose, and you need to make sure you don't end up there again.
exactly. And obviously, your quality is still there. You are fighting for the Irish title against Owen O'Neill. How has the mindset gone going into this fight?
Very good, I've just got a point to prove to nobody but myself after what happened last time out. So yeah, this fight is personal. I was disgusted with how the last fight ended, and I just wasn't happy with it at all. But they were the cards I was dealt, and I have to deal with them. And this is how I'm dealing with them, going straight back into a fight with Owen O'Neill. You know, he's undefeated. It's in his back garden. Everything points in his favor. But a win here puts me right back where I need to be. So yeah.
Exactly. And how do you feel like this fight will play out?
I think it's a hard fight. Owen O'Neill is a big lad, strong lad. He's shown he's able to, you know, finish the last round as he started the first. But we're prepared for all outcomes. I'm ready to go to the trenches for 10 rounds if needs be. So yeah.
And if I'm correct in saying this is your first title fight, how is how have that is that playing on your mind? Is it just are you just taking it as a normal fight or
No, same as every other fight. A fight's a fight, Scott. Whether there's belts, no belts, all you have to do is win.
exactly? And how will it feel when you do get your hand raised and have that belt across your waist?
Very good, I'm hoping. Like I said, since the last one, it's been a rough road, uh, on a personal level. So I just want to get that feel good factor back again. I have it in training at the moment. I'm buzzing and ready to fire out of the traps. I'm feeling really good, performing really well, and yeah, a win on the night will just add to that.
And how do you feel? Like you were saying, you're going into his backyard. He's from Belfast. That's where the fight is. Do you feel like you're ready for the crowd to be against you, or
Do you know what? I'm actually looking forward to it. Owen brings a lot of traveling fans, which creates a good atmosphere. Obviously, they're all going to be against me, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It's playing in my favor. I'm picturing it all the time. The crowd screaming and shouting for me to lose, and that's just going to add fuel to the fire. So, yeah, like I said, I'm more than ready. Everything's gone to plan, and it's just around the corner now. So,
exactly? So, do you feel like the more the crowd are going to be booing, do you think it'll just give you that extra motivation?
yeah, fuel to the fire. You know, you need to prove everybody wrong. But that's all part of the game as well, isn't it? Having a good
Yeah,
atmosphere on the night. It creates it. It's what it's all about. It beats fighting in a hall with nobody shouting.
exactly. And do you know when you're wanting to get back into the ring after this, if all goes well? Do you want to go back in before the end of the year, or do you think it'll be more into early next year before we see you?
No, I'd like to fight again at the end of the year. The roadmap looks like beat Owen O'Neill August 3rd, and then the zone will be coming to my home city of Waterford. Um, to yeah, fight there in the arena, which would be a dream come true. So one fight at a time, but all going well. It'll be a strong finish to the year, and yeah, I'll fight again once more.
So, with your saying he's coming to your hometown, would you say it is the dream to go back into there and headline the show?
Yes, so I done that in April last year, and it was an amazing night. You know, there's something special about we bringing boxing to Waterford. It means a lot to me. But to be able to bring the zone with Conlon boxing to town would be something else. So yeah, I'm fully focused on August 3rd, and I know what the bigger picture is if I come through it. So fully focused and ready to win.
And do you feel like with being these main events and these co-main events, that's geared you up for being on these big cards? I know you're on the this one just now. You were in on the Smith Eubank one previously. Do you think that has these main events have helped you prepare for these slots?
Without a doubt. But for years you picture yourself being there in your head, so mentally you've already been there, and then it plays out in front of you. So I'm quite comfortable with whatever stage I'm on at the card. But yeah, getting a taste of the big one, like Manchester, was a crazy experience back in September. And I'm sure this one will be also.
And how do you feel like the with the amateur scene that you were in, you were fighting sometimes 2 days after your previous fight. How does that compare to your professional? I know with professional, the you are going longer rounds, so you do need that extra recovery. Do you prefer that extra time off, or do you just want to get back into it?
Yeah, I like to stay active. You know, you can't beat consistency and momentum. It's good to have a bit of momentum going. With that being said, obviously the longer rounds, it's a lot more wear and tear on the body, isn't it? It's not
Yeah,
just 3 rounds. Amateurs, you're good to go again a few days later. But if you have a real pro boxing fight and it goes 10 rounds and you've gone to the trenches, your body needs a couple of months to relax and repair.
exactly. And what do you think has been the biggest improvement in your game since making that move and turning professional?
I've linked up with a new coach since the last fight, Jimmy Payne, and you know we've got to spend some time together, and we're really starting to mold. You know, you need to spend time with a new coach, which I didn't really get to do last time round. This time, we've gelled really well, and I'm excited to show off what we've been doing on August 3rd.
And how important do you feel like the coach plays in your development?
Oh, a massive part. You know, you need a good relationship with your coach as well as what they teach you. You need to get on, they need to understand you, you need to respect them. There's a lot to it. It's a lot more than just a fighter and a coach, you know, it goes deeper than that. But I'm blessed that I have got a good relationship, a great teacher and a great friend. So
That's great to hear. Always helps to have that in your corner. Now, you have fought at 154 before. I know the majority of your fights have been at 147. What do you feel is your natural weight class?
at 147. This fight is also at 147. If
Yeah.
the right fight was to come around, I reckon I could go down again. But at the moment I'm happy at 147.
Do you feel like we could ever see you back up at 154, or do you think that's just completely done now?
Completely done. I make 147 with ease.
Exactly. So, do you feel like there is then a chance that you could go down even further and collect a title down there?
Maybe so. Like I said, if the right fight crosses the table and it makes sense, well then yeah, we can get rid of that weight. I make 147 with ease, and going down is definitely an option in the future.
And with this fight against Owen O'Neill, did that just come about? Did they just give you that name saying we have Owen O'Neill for the title, or did you have a few different opportunities you could have gone?
No, that fight just came out of the blue, and you know, undefeated, his back garden, it all just made sense. And coming from where I was coming from after the defeat, I just looked at that fight and said a win here puts me right back where I need to be. So yeah, I jumped at it.
And do you have a prediction of when you think the fight will finish?
Ooh, um, I'm prepared to go to the last bell, go to the trenches. But if I had to put a prediction, I see myself getting Owen O'Neill out of there in the later rounds.
And do you feel like he'll bring anything into this fight that you've never seen before in a fight?
I don't know because I've not fought him. I've not seen too much of him. But there isn't much that I haven't seen. So yeah, unless he's got some sneaky tricks up his sleeve, I don't think I'm going to be too surprised.
And what would you say had been the biggest fight so far in your career that you've either been on or progressed from and got improvement?
I think the Marku fight last September was a crazy experience for me. It was bigger than I ever anticipated.
Yeah.
Maybe I got lost in the build up to it all. I don't know, but like I said, it was a great experience, and it's all about experience. So carrying that into this fight, I'm more mature, more well rounded, and yeah, I'm excited to show it off.
And I was reading up about that last fight. Is there still bad blood between you two, or
No, not at all. Not at all. I spoke to Florian afterwards. That's all part of the build up, isn't it? Emotions
yeah?
are flaring. You're making weight. You're in a bad mood. You're narky. Yeah, no, not at all. Utmost respect for Florian Marku.
So do you feel like you would ever take that fight again to try and get that redemption, or do you think that's it? That ship sailed. You're looking onto other things.
I don't think I'll ever get that fight again, but if it was offered, I'd take it in a heartbeat.
Exactly, and surely it will change, and you would be able to get a victory that time. Do you have a prediction for the main event? Do you know how it will go?
I hope Tyrone McKenna wins. I've been putting my money on Tyrone McKenna. An Irish legend. I've got the utmost respect for him. I've been a fan of his for many years now. And yeah, what a guy, what a fighter, what a character outside the ring. I tip my hat to guys like Tyrone. Yeah, and I wish him the very best in the main event.
And do you feel like with you being on these cards, do you start to like speak about stuff after the fight? Like, do you come out and be like, you could have done this better, you could have done that better to like the other fighters?
Well, we can always. We're never. The day you think you know it all is the day you start losing, Scott. So we're always learning. We're always trying to progress. Um, Advice is free. Take it from everyone. If it works for you, bring it with you. If it don't, leave it there. But yeah, always trying to. It's all a game of inches, isn't it? Grab them from wherever you
Yeah,
can and try moving in the right direction.
that sounds great. Thank you for coming on. Is there anyone you're wanting to shout out? I'll give you the final word.
Just shout out to all my sponsors as always. They're a massive part of fighters' careers, and the support I get is amazing. They have me where I am today, and yeah, I plan on putting on a show for them on August 3rd.
Well, if you are in the Belfast area, make sure you go and get tickets for the fight. It will be an amazing atmosphere. If you aren't able to get tickets, make sure you do watch it online, and you can definitely see Dylan get the knockout victory and get that welterweight, get that title. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you
Oh,
for coming on.
hey, thank you very much, my friend. You're a gentleman. Have a great one. I'll speak to you soon.